What's up everybody, in my last video I promised to tell you about the matches of our Davis Cup tie against Israel, so let's not waste any time. We had a draw ceremony on Thursday. For singles, Team Israel nominated their number 1 Eden Leshem and number 4 Daniel Zuckerman. It might look like a surprise, but if you watched my previous video, you know it was neither a strange decision by them or a surprise for us. The toss determined that I would start the tie on Friday with my match against Zuckerman, and Stako would follow against Leshem. The rest of the draw actually doesn't matter, because captains can change their nominations shortly before the matches. Apparently our team have watched my channel way too much as we started our first matches following my instructions from the how to create an amazing comeback video. It's mostly my fault, I started this trend with my match against Zuckerman, by the standards of that episode almost perfectly. I got broken straight away and had absolutely no idea what to do. He was not missing at all. I think it was like 3 unforced errors from him in the first set. He was playing aggressive when he needed to, and I couldn't beat him with my patience or create an opportunity to make a winner. In a couple of minutes, the score was 1-6. The second set started the same way. Serve was not helping me at all. Quite the opposite. Another break in the first game. I think I mastered that slow start skill. At 0-2 I broke my racket and started to complain. Not much, but enough for ticking the acting skills box. Following my instructions, I should still have had faith that I could win that match. But to be honest, I failed that one. At 0-3 with a double break, I said to myself, to get out of this situation, even for me, will be impossible. But in the next game I broke back and things started to change. Little by little I was reducing the gap. My new tactics were working perfectly. I found his weak spot and started to push there as much as I could. 6 games in a row brought me the second set. Third set was under my control from the beginning. I could break in the first game already, but failed. Anyway, I got a break in the third game. Then successful hold and another break. A little bit of talking with the chair umpire before closing the match, 6-2. In the heat of the battle, I completely forgot about losing the reins, but I did not forget about advertising. If you want to find out how to perform such comebacks, subscribe to my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and of course YouTube channel. Next was Stako against Leshem. Although all lines were covered and called by Hawkeye, Sergey still found a reason to argue with the chair umpire after the first game. I think he forgot the order of things in my instructions and started to show his acting skills too early. Sergey followed my route and broke himself in the third game, and then again in the last game of the set. Second set was pretty even at the beginning. They were just holding their serve, approaching the turning point moment. A 3-all was a perfect time for it, and Stako performed it quite well. Another break at 5-3 and he won a set 6-3. At this moment I was pretty confident about this match, and turned out I was completely wrong. Stako decided to loosen the reins, in my humble opinion, too early and for way too long. At 1-4 it was time to play properly again, but Sergey couldn't find a way to break back. He couldn't use my tactics, which I prepared after my trip to Israel, as he has a completely different game style. 2-6 and we lose the second match of a tie.
Well, today I was supposed to follow Ilya's instructions. But unfortunately, I was just too bad and I failed.
Next was doubles. Stakovsky Molchanov against Erlich Zuckerman. Again, no surprises here. Guys took early serve straight away, so I thought perhaps they decided not to follow my instructions this time. But at 2-1 they were back on a slow start path. One more break at 4-5 and Team Israel took the first set. Our guys skipped any acting skills and didn't wait for turning point for too long, as they broke Zuckerman's serve in the third game. After that the game became pretty even, and the Israeli team could have broke back a few times. But Sergey and Dennis were able to hold. They took the second set 6-4, finishing it with a loud "come on". Everything was going by the plan more or less, and the guys should get a break in the third game. But Sergey missed the return. And then, even after not taking the lead, our guys decided to loosen the reins. Dennis made a double fault at the worst moment. As a result, a break, and now they needed another turning point. They had some chances though at 3-5 on Ehrlich's serve, but Stako's returns again were not good enough. 3-6 and Israel took the lead in the tie.
When Ilya was doing those comebacks, it looked so easy. I just don't understand.
After that we had a serious discussion in the locker room, and we agreed to forget about comebacks for the last two matches, as we now needed to perform a comeback as a team. But my nerves had a different opinion, and I started slow anyway. Luckily, I was able to break back pretty quick, and since that moment the match was under my control. Another break at 4-3, and then a confident hold, 6-3. I could tell that Leshem doesn't really know what to do. Early break in the second set, and nothing could stop me from winning that match. The final score was 6-3, 6-2. That's how true leaders have to win their matches. Next was Stakhovsky against Oliel, and I think this was the biggest mistake of the Israeli team. If they really wanted to use him, it was better to do it against me. Stako started powerfully with a break in the first game. Ishai was obviously nervous, as it was the first match for him this tie and the first time deciding rubber in Davis Cup. Sergey, on the other hand, was very confident, and it was his best match that weekend. Game after game, he was increasing the lead. He was even returning quite well. In this match, experience defeated youth. The final score 6-4, 6-2. And we won the tie 3-2.
Well, I'm really happy to win this tie today, and I've learned a very important lesson this weekend. Those comebacks are really dangerous, if not performed by professionals.